What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to a video by a fellow American named David Wen. And this video is called How I See the United States After Living in Europe for 5 years. So this video really caught my attention because personally, I don't know any Americans who have actually lived in Europe. It's pretty rare to even have friends who have traveled outside of the United States or visited Europe, let alone someone like this who has lived in Europe for years. So I'm really interested to see if living in Europe for a long time has changed his perspective at all, and what his opinion on the United States is like now. So let's take a look.
I just had a nightmare that I had to choose between 40 brands of toilet paper. It wasn't a nightmare. This is the US.
What? That's what it all boils down to? That's how you describe the United States when you leave for a while. What sticks out the most? A wall of toilet paper. Do you know, if you're from Europe or anywhere else in the world, do you not have like a huge variety of toilet papers to choose from? It's like an entire aisle in most American grocery stores. Is that an American thing? I don't. Okay.
I always enjoy coming back to the US to see family, friends, nature. The nature is unbeatable, especially in a place like California.
Ooh.
But living
Wow. Wow. That's kind of a hot take. I've seen some videos of different places around the world, and to me, as an American, for what I've seen on the internet, a lot of countries around the world have really crazy, amazing, beautiful nature and landscapes and architecture, and it's kind of nice to hear that he thinks parts of America are beautiful too. That's nice.
in the US is sort of like living in one big Hollywood movie. It's
Living in the US is like living in a Hollywood movie.
an experience. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And after 4 years in Europe, I'm back in the US at the moment. So let me show you how I see the US now.
What does living in a Hollywood movie mean? Like, it feels artificial? It feels fake? Or do things feel bigger or something like larger than life in some ways? I wonder what he means by I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's time to do some grocery shopping. And of course, I hop in my car and drive 2 blocks to my local supermarket. And why walk when one can drive?
I did. Oh my god. That's how you know that I truly am Americanized, which makes sense. I am an American who's lived in the United States my whole life. So when he said, I got in my car and drove 2 blocks down the street to the grocery store, I didn't even think anything of it. I was just like, yeah, okay. Like, when are we going to get yeah, perfectly normal. He's now, if I like think about it, that's really kind of an American thing, right? That we will get in our car and drive anywhere. It does not matter how short the distance is. It is so rare, especially if you live in a smaller city or like a town in America, smaller place. It's so rare to see people actually walking anywhere. And actually, If you live in a small enough area, if you see people walking, sometimes you think, are they okay? Like, do they need help? Why are they walking? What? And it's like to like go somewhere to or to get exercise. And it's like, oh yeah, how European of them. So that's funny. I almost didn't even notice that that was an observation he's making.
Grocery shopping is an experience, an adventure. You see, I'm used to only one or two choices of brands to choose from in the Netherlands. Here, there are like 50 brands of everything to choose from.
I did not know that. So he specifically went to the Netherlands. But I guess, is this like a general European thing as well? You guys have just a couple choices with not just toilet paper, but what, everything? Like cereal? Or do you even get cereal? Maybe, when I look at the American cereal aisle, I think he had a picture of it. Where is it? Where's this
Walk
cereal?
when one can drive.
Here it is. This. When I look at this, it is kind of excessive. Most, food options or even toilet paper, stuff like that in America, there are like at least 5 or 6 different options to choose from. I didn't realize that was strange. Is that a bad thing? Is it a bad thing that we have a ton of options? I don't know. Like, maybe it's kind of attesting to how really capitalistic America is, or overstimulated, or is it like a testament to our gluttonous like appetite for so many things, and that we need 7 different types of toilet paper to choose from? But at the same time, isn't it kind of nice to have a lot of options? I don't know. I'm having trouble deciding. I am American, so I'm kind of biased, of course. I like having a lot of options, but I can see where it could be like kind of construed as a bad thing, or excessive.
There are like 50 brands of everything to choose from toilet paper to sausages to
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's true. It's like, this is literally true. This is what my grocery store looks like. Absolutely. There are, especially coffee, there's like, actually, he's exaggerating with 50, but there's probably 20 different coffees at least.
Hazelnut, maple pecan. I'm gonna go with caramel spice this time. On one hand, the variety is amazing. On the other, it can take me up to 15 minutes to buy toilet paper.
I mean, I don't know. How it works is, after a while, you just know what you like, and you just go in the store and you get it. You don't actually sit there in front of the toilet paper for 15 minutes, like, unless there's like some kind of deal going on. Maybe some people waste time getting caught up in this stuff, but I try not to.
And oh, do you know about our national treasure, Costco? At Costco, you'll find anything and everything in extra, extra, extra large.
That's true.
Everything really is bigger in the US.
Okay.
Plus the free samples.
I've heard of this, that things are like, portions are bigger in the United States. We are one of the most unhealthy countries, and a large part of our population is overweight. You gotta think that has to do with our portion sizing, and our processed food has a lot of chemicals and stuff in it that aren't even legal in other parts of the world, from what I understand. I I'm at I can't decide. I can't decide if I think this is a bad thing or a good thing. I like big portion sizes. I'm used to it. But I know smaller portions are better for me. But when I go out to dinner at a restaurant and I get a huge plate and I get to take some home, as Americans, we just get used to that. And you got to be careful about your health. That's for sure.
And the cheap hot dogs. And yes, unlimited drink refills.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's funny because a lot of us Americans, we never step back and kind of have America described to us like this. That's why it's valuable, I think, to see Americans who have been to Europe and Europeans and all of your opinions. Because, yeah, for Americans, unlimited soda is standard. We expect it. But maybe we should be aware that's not normal in a lot of parts of the world.
Fills. This is America.
Holy crap, the selection is crazy. And while it's really nice to come back and see all this variety in the supermarkets from Safeway to Costco to Trader Joe's,
Yeah.
it can be sometimes overwhelming when you have every single possible combination of coffee, toilet paper, and it can take me up to 20 minutes to buy a bag of chips. And the thing about
See, I don't know. That's an exaggeration to me. You don't have to spend 20. If he's arguing that going into a grocery store, you have to spend your whole day there, most Americans know what they like. They know what they want. I don't know if I agree with this. I spend an hour picking out my chips or 20 minutes, fine. Even that sounds excessive and like you should just hurry up. But there's other arguments here about the excessiveness in America that I do understand more.
free soda refills, while I still love the concept and I loved it as a child, it's actually not so free because it's going to cost you in the long run in terms of your health.
Yes,
It's time to go meet some friends for lunch.
absolutely.
And on the way there, I see them. Oh my. It's always a shock. The homeless.
Oh, yeah, sure. I really don't know like what the homelessness situation is like in other parts of the world. In America, it's really just bad in major cities. It's common and it's a problem in big American cities. I think he said he's in LA, where in particular, there's a huge homelessness problem. Yes, which is just a kind of an embarrassment on the American government and how it's been handled, and how there's people who are who have been elected into office who are supposed to deal with this who don't do a good job, and it's embarrassing.
This is the part that Hollywood never shows. But life goes on. It's part of everyday life in a big city. But I am looking forward to lunch and the food scene in the US. From Asian to Mexican to everything in between, there is something for everyone. And fast food everywhere, every block.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Is there... So, I guess fast food... I know that there's McDonald's, like, everywhere in the world, right? I don't know how common fast food is in general in Europe. In America, he is not kidding. There is some kind of fast food restaurant every mile. Or, like, it's just... You are never more than 5 minutes drive from a fast food restaurant. That is actually true.
Every mall, every day. No wonder everyone is so big.
Yeah.
Damn. I already gained 20 pounds. But I know I will lose it all when I get back to the Netherlands.
Really?
And during lunch, my friend
Really? Just living in the Netherlands is different enough where just existing there, he knows he's going to lose weight. It's that bad in America. Wow.
mentions her son had an allergic reaction. Went to the emergency room. Luckily, he was fine, but they received a bill for $20,000. And then my other friend tells me about the time he fainted, got transported to the ER, and was handed a $10,000 bill.
Okay, we're really touching on everything here. The healthcare system in America is a mess. You need to have healthcare insurance if you're in America, or else if you don't, your life can be ruined. You can get bills like this, $10,000, $20,000. Now, most Americans have healthcare insurance, which takes the $10,000 bill and reduces it down to like a $1,000 or $500, which is still insane, but it won't ruin your life. Well, for some people, it would, honestly. A lot of people don't have $1,000 sitting around, but America seems like one of the only countries where your life can be ruined by going to the hospital and getting help, especially if you don't have the proper healthcare coverage. That's absolutely true. The healthcare in America is very good. Like the doctors, the nurses, the medicine, the care it's great. It's some of the best in the world. I always have a great experience, but you do expect a huge bill in the mail after you go home. That's just a fact of life here.
Bill. It definitely makes one think twice before deciding to go to the ER. And then
Yeah.
we talk about work, which is the most American thing to talk about. And he tells me casually, it's fine, same old, had to work this past weekend. Still working 60 hours a week. And I think
Yeah, for most Americans work 40 hours per week. But America, we do have like a work culture where you have to grind and hustle and be the best and show up and stay late after the boss leaves. If you wanna move up in the world, we do have that mentality. So there are a lot of people in America who spend work on the weekend or stay extra hours, or the standard is supposed to be 40 hours though.
to myself,
If I ever decide to return back to the US, I think it would be quite difficult for me to adapt back to the American way of life, culture, in terms of working, the number of hours, the stress, the lack of vacation, the fact that people don't take their vacation days. But I do miss parts of American work culture, the drive, the ambition, the energy,
Oh.
being surrounded
I thought he meant like driving in a car. No, the drive, the passion, the hustle, that thing. That can be very motivational, and it's like you're competing with everybody, and you can get burnt out though. It sounds like in Europe, things are just a little more slower paced. You guys actually have a lot of vacation time. Work is not your entire life. Whereas in America, people feel like they're working their life away, and they have no free time, and that can be very depressing for a lot of Americans. Yeah.
by people who are very ambitious about their careers. It drove me to become a better person, a more confident person. And to be honest, I do miss that because that is part of my DNA growing up in the US. But it's a trade-off, right? It's a trade-off between,
Yeah.
yes, you do make a lot more money in the US,
Oh,
but the
okay.
trade-off is time.
and then we start talking
I think a lot of Americans would choose to have more time. More time at home, more time with family and friends, and I think a lot of Americans would choose that.
about vacation. Another friend tells me about his jam-packed one-week vacation visiting 4 countries. And I was like, how is that possible? 4 countries, 1 week? Then I remember. That's how I used to travel as well.
And that's the thing, right? When you don't have that much time, you learn to pack everything in.
Yeah.
I remember when I was traveling to Europe during my first time, I traveled to 10 countries in 2 weeks because, well, when you only have 2 weeks, you learn to pack everything in. I had this Google
Right. This is how most Americans experience Europe. I would say most Americans don't travel outside of the country. I've never been, to Europe or anything like that. But when Americans do travel, we only have a very small amount of vacation to take off work. So yeah, and for a lot of Americans, when they travel to Europe, that is like the one time in our life that we are going to do it. Most Americans, if they travel out of the US, they do it once. One big bucket list vacation. Like, so Americans want to see 10 different, they want to experience everything, 10 countries, because this is the one time they're gonna do it. They're not going back to Europe. It's once. For a lot of Americans, it's one time. Because it's expensive and you got to take off work and you got to worry about family or if you have children or so for a lot of Americans it's one time and they try to see it all and it probably ends up being like a terrible rushed experience that you don't really get a good idea of what it's actually like.
Sheets. The agenda every day from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., every hour had an agenda, something to do. And that's the thing, right? When you travel so far to Europe, to Asia from the US, and you only have 1-2 weeks, you better make the most out of your time.
Yeah.
Now let's get back to paying the bill.
But wait, what the hell is this? Sales tax? Tip? Matt?
You guys don't have sales tax? What? And I don't there's a lot of European countries. I don't know what the tipping is like everywhere. But in America, this is totally normal. You know, big sales tax that you see at the end on your bill. You don't know what the tax is going to be till the end. And tipping in America, don't even get me started. Tipping has gotten out of control in America. People at a restaurant, 15% is definitely the minimum.
Madness. I need to walk off this madness and the lunch. I walk towards Stanford University, which is nearby. I walk, and then I realize that I'm the only person walking.
I was just about to say that. If you look around, he is the only one walking, and this is very normal. This is totally normal in America. Like, people do not walk places. That's considered a bit strange.
Oh wow, it's a lot further than I thought. No wonder nobody walks in the US. I arrived at campus to see a bunch of tourists. American universities, especially elite ones, are tourist hotspots. The brand name, the letters, the cost of tuition. It's one of the biggest businesses in the US.
Yeah, I didn't know people from other countries visit big American universities. I didn't even know that. Yeah, college, university in America, again, it can cost 20, 30, 50,000 US dollars every semester. That twice a year. That's why Americans have to take out huge loans. When we're just 18 years old, teenagers, we're taking out huge loans. Like you're buying a house or something, but no, you're just paying for your education.
And then I overhear some people talking about the most recent mass shooting.
A mass shooting at an American school in suburban Denver.
We are 25 days in, and there have been 40 mass shootings.
It seems like this is the norm nowadays in the US.
Yeah, I mean, it's not every day, but it's far too often. I think once a week there's a shooting, like some kind of school shooting in America. Well, actually, look at these statistics. Actually, if the 600, no, according to this, it's like one every day or two every day. Is this accurate? Shootings where four or more people were killed. Oh, this isn't school shootings. Okay, I thought we were just talking about school shootings. We're talking about shootings in general. 4 or more people. That's every day. That's every day, twice a day. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty disgusting. It's pretty terrible. Obviously, here in America, we are a very, very big country. We have a huge population. 350 million or more. There's gonna be crime, but that's still no excuse for how easy it is to get a gun in America. Obviously contributes to this.
US. It's sad and it's horrible. And oh yeah, the police, they beat up someone else again. What's sad is that many people no longer trust the police. And I know plenty of great police officers, but all it takes is a few bad apples to ruin it for the rest of them.
Absolutely. In America, especially the last few years, the trust in the police has gone so down. People are scared of police. Like, actually, where police are supposed to be protecting you. You're supposed to trust them. You're supposed to feel safe around. In America, people feel uncomfortable around police now.
Now, I wonder what the news outlets are saying, because I've stopped reading the news. It's like this all-out war, CNN versus Fox.
Yeah.
You get two different stories. It seems like such a divided country nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. America has never been more divided. We are so divided. And depending on what news you listen to, you get two completely different stories about the same thing. And so you're saying it doesn't have to be like this, I guess. Like in Europe, it's not like this, is what he's saying, which is very fascinating to me.
The left versus the right, Democrats versus Republicans, the police versus the world.
And this is the thing that always shocks me when I come back now. How divided the country has become. I mean, you can
I guess that would be even more shocking for an American like him who's been gone for 5 years. For me, since I've always been in America, like it's not shocking. I've been experiencing it all as it's happened. Like, yeah, just over the last 10, 20 years, like America has just gotten more and more divided, and now people hate each other.
literally lose a friend because of politics. The media has done a role in pitting this group versus this group as well.
Yeah.
And it's sad because it doesn't seem so united anymore. It seems quite divided every time
True.
I come back. And it's sad. And the thing about the police,
So, in Europe, like if you're in a European country, can you have a different political opinion to someone else and you can still get along? Like in Europe, people in different political parties can still talk and be friends, and because that here in America, like he said, you can lose friends and family over having the wrong political opinion or the opposite opinion. Where it used to be, people could just talk, like normal humans and talk now it's like just polar opposite hatred, really.
well, the police, they have such a bad reputation now when in fact they should be part of the community protecting people. And yes, there have been very unfortunate events that have happened. But when I think about the majority of the police officers that I have met in the past, they've been good people, genuinely good people.
Yeah.
And nowadays we tend to label people based on this profession. It's a bias, when in fact I think it's wrong to do that. I think
That's true. I agree with this. Like, a lot of police officers are nice, and they are putting their life in danger to protect you and fight crime. And it's unfortunate what's happened. Like, the police reputation in America is so bad right now.
we should judge people based on their character, not on a label that we attach them to. But yeah, I hope things get better. I don't think so in the short term, but I hope things get better.
But hey, at least public restrooms are still free in the US. It's time to head to the mall.
Wait a minute. You're telling me bathrooms are not free in Europe? You don't have public bathrooms? Really? What? Where do you go to the bathroom? In America, public bathrooms can be kind of gross or nasty because it is open to everyone, but it's still really nice to have. Oh man, you guys don't have, maybe it's not free. Do you have to pay? I guess that's okay, as long as there's some bathroom.
to do some shopping and say hello to American consumerism and overly friendly customer service people. Shopping in the US is sort of like a game, looking for deals, getting credit card points. It can be extremely fun and addicting.
Yeah.
But this is all part of the game of American consumerism.
Yeah.
So be careful, or else you'll be in credit card debt like a dearth of Americans.
Is this different in Europe? This is so interesting because for a lot of this stuff in America, this is just normal. In America, it's normal to have a credit card, to be in credit card debt, to go to the store and look for deals and have people annoying you, asking you if they can help find something. And yeah, it's really eye-opening having this perspective, like America described like this, like from an outside perspective. I think a lot of Americans don't even realize how strange we are.
Well, it's late and it's time to head home. And of course, there's traffic at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And this guy ahead of me just cut off the cyclist. It's quite a shock to see bikes, cars, buses, motorcycles all merging together in one lane. It can be quite dangerous to cycle in an American city. I then go and meet.
So, is traffic better in Europe? Is bicycling safer? Do you? I wish he would elaborate a little more, because it sounds like it's different in Europe.
Some friends for a drink, and I meet all these techies. And of course, I get asked the popular question.
Hey, so what do you do? I make YouTube videos. Oh, so you work for YouTube and Google, right? No, I just make videos. Oh, okay. So this is something.
So, especially if you live in LA, like California or New York, people are definitely going to be like, "Oh, you work at a tech company. You're at Google." And you're like, "No, I'm not." And they're like, "What?"
that Americans do really well. We tend to compare ourselves against one another. It's a very competitive society.
Yes.
And we do this at a very young age. Which
Yes.
school, which college did you go to? What type of job, which company,
Yes.
who got promoted? It's part of the system.
Yes, in America, you're taught to be the best. You got to stick out. You got to be unique. You have to win. You got even in sports when you're a child. So that is very much what our culture encourages you to do, and that definitely has a big impact on us.
Very competitive society, in my opinion, compared to other societies. And I remember there was one.
I mean, there's a lot of things America has been successful at. We have a lot of companies, and some of that has, as bad as it might be unhealthy to be so competitive about everything, but there are some benefits, I suppose.
One time when I first started off my career, I was working in the Big Four accounting firm, and I went out to a bar with some friends. They were all investment bankers.
Huh.
And I was talking to this one girl who was an investment banker. And of course, we talked about what we did. And when I told her that I worked in a Big Four firm, she kind of looked down upon me and said something very judgmental, like, "Oh, you only work at a Big Four company."
What?
And so I just remember feeling very crappy at that point in time. Like,
I think this is more common in big American cities. If you're in a smaller city or a small town, people are not such jerks. People are a bit nicer. But if you're in like LA, yeah, people can be like really mean and judgmental.
I wasn't good enough. But I don't blame her. It's the system that we grow up in.
Sure.
And we tend to judge each other based on what we do.
What a long, exhausting day.
That is true. In America, you are judged a lot on your success and your job, and rather than your character or who you are as a person. That's true.
Just another day in Hollywood. Just another day in the US of A.
Wow. That was really a great video. I enjoyed this a lot. It was particularly really nice to hear an American perspective that I can relate to. This is an American who has lived in Europe and really clearly loves what life is like in Europe. And he came back to America and he notices all these things that are weird. And having it described like this really opened my eyes a lot to how strange and unhealthy some of the stuff we do that I've never thought. I've always thought it was normal. So I thought this was great. This was really helpful. More Americans should listen to stuff like this, I think, because it's really eye-opening. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on what life is like in the United States versus Europe, or anything that was discussed here. That'd be cool to hear about, especially if you're from Europe. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.